first half to take a 3-point lead into the locker room at the break. Did you miss the first half? No problem. You can watch the highlights tonight on The Final Score. Every unforgettable moment, every night on FSN, the only national show that gives you nothing but wall-to-wall highlights. Check your local listings. The FSN Final Score airs tonight. And you know, I don't want to give you the Nostradamus award, Bob, but you said going into this game, we've got to talk about the backcourt. We've got to talk about Mustafa and Derek Lowe. And Shakur turned on the engines late in that first half. And again, as the Cats go is as he goes.
Well, what I like about Mustafa this year is the fact that he's shown that he can score or pass, depending upon what the team needs. You make yourself a double threat at the point guard position. So see, all of a sudden, people are having trouble scoring, he scores. All of a sudden, he makes a nice little move to the hole, penetrates, kicks it back to Dillon. Again, Arizona having trouble scoring. Don't worry about it. I'll take the shot. This time, it's just pure effort. Puts it up on the glass, goes back and get it, gets fouled, takes off Radenovich's right hand on the way out. He's just doing it all. You know, next thing you know, he might try to get some popcorn sold or something.
You got to be careful, man. Radenovich needs that right hand. Cats hitting 9 buckets after opening 1 of 7, and that has brought them right back into this game in Pullman.
Neighbor drove.
FSN Arizona is brought to you by BrakeMax. For money-saving coupons, visit BrakeMax.com. More than brakes, complete car care. By Nissan and your Valley Nissan dealers. And by Jack in the Box, where we don't make it till you order it.
Welcome back at the break. Arizona with a 3-point edge over the Cougars, and this, of course, the nightcap on already a very busy day in Pac-10 basketball. And we've seen some things today, Bob Elliott, in the Pac-10. Washington did take care of business at home against Arizona State. That's the first conference win for the Huskies. But what happened to the Bruins down at Mac Court? Hello, Ducks.
A good win for Ernie Kent's Oregon Duck team, coming back off that loss to SC. What this tells me, and SC looking good like they did, this is going to be a very competitive Pac-10 conference this year. A lot of parity, and just the bad part is, you know, they say, oh, the Pac-10's beating each other up. We don't want the East Coast bias getting up in there now.
Exactly, and you know, Aaron Brooks, 25 points in that game, including the game-winning jumper for the Ducks. Had Coach Kent in tears at the end of the victory. Certainly he remembers the last time the Ducks were able to beat the Bruins when the Bruins were top ranked. He was a player back in that day, and he was your contemporary.
Yeah, that's going back in time, the mid-70s. I got a feel for him, but that was a good win for Oregon. They did that win. It keeps them right in the hunt for the Pac-10 conference.
He used to have a little bit more hair back in that day, if I recall.
A whole lot more.
Well, we've seen quite a first half of basketball. Cougars will enforced at the beginning, and then the Wildcats started to go on their scoring tear. Which team will prevail in the second half? We'll be right back to find out. Usually Pac-10 games are a tale of 2 halves, but sometimes you can have 2 halves to a half, and that's what we saw in the first half between the Cats and the Cougars.
That's exactly right. Nice little interior pass in that time. Harmling down low to Cowgill. And then nice defensive play by Kyle Weaver. Makes the pick, goes in with a 2-handed dunk to make sure it's 2 points for the Cougs. And then Arizona started to come back a little bit. Watch Radenovich coming to your screen left side. Catch it, the trailer on the break, knocks down the 3. But the guys for Arizona to get it done. Mustafa Shakur off the glass, puts it back up, foul, gets it in the hole. Going for the old-fashioned 3, all kind of emotion. But look at these stats, you know, hey, there's a reason this game is 27-24. Very even, very even. But, you know, Arizona customarily shoots more free throws than the opposition. So what you're looking at is this is a close game for a reason. The tempo favors Washington State because it's in the 50s. That's one of the things I thought would be the key for them. Keep it in the 50s, they have a chance.
Interestingly enough, both teams ice cold from downtown, each hitting only 2 3-pointers. And we're talking about 2 squads that have 3 guys between the 2 of them in the top 10 in 3-point field goal percentage. For some reason, the shots aren't falling here tonight.
No, and I think some of that's because what you're seeing is 2 very good teams, 2 heavyweight fighters battling it out, making things happen. There's a reason it's close because this is a very hot contested game by 2 very closely and very well-coached teams.
He knows better than anybody that it's a lot easier to hit the open J than the one where you've got a hand in your face. And we are looking forward to the second half here. Zona by 3 in Pullman. Arizona with a halftime lead knows what to do. Cats 9-1 when leading at the half this season. Washington State, on the other hand, has been kind of like the comeback kids when they've trailed at the break.
You know, they have done an excellent job. You see, even losing at half, they come back in a 5-1 record. But part of that reason is because in the first 4 minutes after the half, they come back with a vengeance. They have outscored their opponents 111-60 in the first 4 minutes. So look for Washington State to make that halftime adjustment if that's how they're playing basketball this year, which they've done so far. So this first 4 minutes may tell you who's walking away with the W and who's going home with a long face.
What adjustments did Coach Bennett need to make at the half?
Well, I think that what they stopped doing, which put them in the lead, was they were being aggressive to the basket, finding the holes in the zone, making the pass, and shooting it. Then all of a sudden they started staying on the perimeter, moving the ball all around.
You don't want to let Arizona set up its defense. There's some incredible athletes out there in Navy blue.
Whereas Arizona wants to push tempo. They want to turn this into a track meet. They have the better athletes. Up and down they want to go.
Mustafa Shakur, the only scorer right now for either team in double digits. He's got 10, and the numbers that we didn't show you. Marcus Williams held to 2, McClellan 1, and Buttinger held to only 3 for the Wildcats.
So look, Kara, when there's 27 and 24 on the board at the half.
That's what happens.
Yeah, there's not much to spread around, okay?
It's thin.
It's kind of slim pickings there.
Washington State with only 5 players in the stat sheet in the scoring column in the first half. Cats with 7, but 3 guys with only a deuce. So, like you said, slim pickings.
Tony Bennett sporting the business casual look. You know, the sport coat with the open collar shirt.
Some men just get too strangled by that tie, Bob.
Hey, he's got that GQ look all the way. See how the ball stayed on the perimeter? That's what Washington State started doing the last 10 minutes, and that's why they went from having a 10-point lead at the 11:07 mark down to being down by 3 at the half. A 20-7 run by Arizona during those 11 minutes that finished up the first half.
And the officials call a timeout there. Ivory Clark, a little bit rattled, or maybe his Band-Aid came off. It looks like his Band-Aid might have come off, and obviously Pac-10 rules and nationwide rules, you can't have a player out there with blood on his face.
And blood on the floor.
Yep. Really a momentum switch, I thought, Bob, when we saw Koprivica and Clark knock noggins at the free throw line. It's been a different Cougars team since that happened.
Yes, it has. And see, that's what I meant by when that happened, what was going to happen? What was going to be the reaction by not only the 2 players that bumped heads, but their teammates? They either come back out like fighters and say, you know what, you might have drawn blood on me, I'm drawing blood on you. Or maybe they mess around and say, you know, get a little timid. Boom, that's where they hit, right on the right side of your screen. Clark goes down. Down goes Frazier. Oh, that's a different deal.
Might as well be the same one, though, because not only was that a blow to him physically, it seemed to be a blow to the team emotionally.
Exactly. But again, now look, they're playing passive, keeping the ball on the perimeter, which is falling right into Arizona's game plan. Keep them out on the perimeter, not being aggressive, different style of play.
Buttinger gets a hand on it, leads Arizona with 20 steals this year and is 7 in the conference, averaging about a steal and a half per game.
Shot clock, one down.
First action we've seen from Chris Matthews, in and out on the shot, but Weaver is there and he's heading to the line.
Kyle Weaver is arguably the best athlete on this Cougar team. At that time, you saw some of his athleticism. Catch the rebound on the weak side. Remember, 70% of the balls come to the weak side. Now watch him bump him, hang, put it off the glass with some spin. Watch the spin on this ball. It's almost like watching him play, I'm going to put it off the bank in a billiards game. Just put a little spin on it, off and in into the hole.
Weaver against San Diego State a few weeks ago. All 16 of his points came in the second half. He did have 4 in the first half of this one, but he is a guy that can score in bunches for the Cougars, and right now they might need to identify that man.
Got to find a guy that's hot. Nice move.
Rudenovich challenged on the way to the basket, and Calgill called for a foul, his 3rd. That's why we didn't see him a lot in the second half of the first 20 minutes. If he has to take a seat, that's bad news for the Cougs.
Yes, it is. And at the other end of the floor, I was just saying how Washington State early on was being aggressive, going to the basket. Now it's Arizona going to the basket. Rudenovich catching the ball, found a lane. Watch him just pivot right in there, head right down the middle. If you're going to show me a path to the hole, I'm going straight at it.
Well, and Ivan Radenovich, the last guy you want to send to the line, third in the conference, 88% from the charity stripe. That's actually top 50 in the country.
Yeah, he's shooting the ball well from the line, from the outside. Well, he has really come a long way. When he came to Tucson in mid-season his freshman year, spoke no English, and was just dropped in the middle of Tucson, Arizona.
His worst places to be dropped.
Yeah,
Calgary wishes that one would have dropped.
You talk about culture shock.
Yes.
Some inner city guys that come to Arizona said, oh, this is a little bit different than being in Chicago or Detroit.
Right.
Try Serbia to Tucson. A little bit different.
Better weather, that's for sure. McClellan still cold. Radenovich called.
Good box out by Robbie Cowgill. Robbie might be lean, but he is long. And all you have to do, I don't care if you don't have a big wide body, is take what the good Lord gave you behind you. You put that on the guy behind you, and I don't care how lean you are, you make sure they don't get from back there. That's called boxing out.
What you gonna do with all that junk inside your trunk? He doesn't have much to work with.
Yeah, but he's got enough.
That's right. Chris Matthews for three. This is a young man that's only played in 9 games this season. Little scoring spark off the bench to bring the Cougs within one.
They sure woke up the crowd all of a sudden.
The Zoo crew fired up behind us. Williams denied. Looked like he was trying to drive into a sea of 3.
Well, he was trying to force it. That's what I meant earlier about Arizona players making bad choices, trying to create the shot on the dribble. And see, now all of a sudden, Washington State took advantage of that, brings it down, catches Harmeling. Now all of a sudden, the script has been flipped. And the Cougars are back on the lead again, 33-31.
Harmeling's third 3 of the game. He's got 11. McClellan's first field goal of the game comes at the 17-minute mark in the second half. When's the last time that happened?
Yeah, and a nice pass from Mustafa Shakur to find him curling into the lane. And again, scoring off the pass, an assist to a field goal is how Arizona's made their living this year.
Low a little bit late to Weaver. He was open briefly. Dylan comes across. He is so active. Uh-oh. I think number 32 is what we call feeling it.
He's feeling it, making good choices. Kyle Weaver penetrates. Was he 10 feet from the hole? Yes. Harmeling's been hot. Kick it out to him. He shoots the 3. Now they're up by 3.
We have a foul now on Harmeling. McClellan with the drive, and the refs say he didn't use his feet.
Did not use his feet. Got a little tired. You see where his mouth is open, trying to get some oxygen in. But again, there's a nice 3 that time, knocking it down.
And then Harmeling, same corner, same story.
Penetration by Weaver over to Harmeling, knocks it down, finding the open man, being unselfish.
3 threes in the second half for the Cougs. And Radenovich fouled by a streaking McClellan on the rebound.
Carol, we have a basketball game.
Yes, we do.
Down in the Palouse.
It's exactly what we wanted.
This is what has everything has been advertised to be. Okay, you got a Washington State team that's saying, you know what? The little twerking that Dick Bennett has always had, that Tony Bennett just twerked a little bit. These guys are responding to it. They've become one of the top division teams in the Pac-10. They got a chance for notoriety. That's what the theme was for Washington State, about getting respect. If they could beat Arizona, they should be in the top 25 and be ranked for the first time since Methuselah.
Since 1983, to be exact.
That's close to Methuselah.
Methuselah, George Raveling was the coach. I see where you're going. I see where you're going with that.
Analogy.
Radenovich for 3 to sit down the Zoo crew with only for a moment.
Again, what you saw in the first half, you saw again. Radenovich, as the trailer on the fast break, is found by his teammates, knocks it down. We started at 0-0, now we're 36-36.
Chris Matthews tries to untie it, and it is still knotted up. Some wild passing. Cats calm it down a bit. We talked about those first 4 minutes of the second half, and indeed, the Cougars outscored Arizona 12-6 during that first 4 minutes. The fans fans are not loving the officials right now. It's getting a little bit feisty in the Zoo Crew.
Wildcat fans, Arizona women's basketball is taking off in the 2006
one of the most entertaining
Hey Mom, how was your day? Pretty good.
series against Washington. 5, one of the most entertaining and controversial games between these two teams. Zona rallied from 10 points down with $1:18 remaining, thanks in part to a technical that was called on the crowd when they threw a cup on the court. Then it was all Damon all the time. Scored 40 in the game, 33 in the second half and overtime. Arizona ended up winning 114 to 111 in double overtime. Butch, the Cougar, devastated. Stoudemire's second half outburst, then a school record, the 111 by WSU, a Pac-10 record, most points by a losing team. Lute Olson said he doesn't remember a lot about the battles here other than the fact that they've been hotly contested and that it's been cold in Pullman. And indeed, yet again, they busted out all of 30 degrees in snow for the Wildcats trip this winter.
Well, talking about hotly contested, you can see Lute there getting a good swig of that Gatorade, trying to
Quench the thirst.
Get some potassium into his system.
Mustafa Shakur gives the Cats a 2-point edge. He's been money 5 of 5 from the charity stripe in this contest. Again, we see that perimeter passing that you were talking about. Forrest, the high post, drives back out. Shot clock under 10.
He kept it on the perimeter the whole time.
Well, you live by the 3, you die by the 3, and the Cougars have taken 40 shots in the game and 21 from downtown. They've only netted 5 3-point baskets.
When you come up with a timeout, you expect your team to score because you've had a chance as a coach to have the kids in front of you and explain them what you want done. That was a collision right there.
That's right. Harmeling and Marcus Williams both a little slow to get up from Arizona's side of the court. Weaver drives. No. Radenovich draws.
That has been the call of the day. Okay, Radenovich is there. Ooh, you know, the hardest call in basketball, charge versus block. See, from this angle, it looks like Radenovich is moving. But remember, you have to be at the same angle that the official was at when he made the call. It can look entirely different.
They've made the call both ways plenty of times in this game.
Yeah, it's the difference between a glass being half empty and half full. Looks like the same glass, depends on which way you look at it.
McClellan for 3. Still can't hit. This is a guy who went 7 of 7 from downtown in a game this year against New Mexico State. Hit 6 trays at Washington. Weaver drives.
Chris Matthews has given some good minutes to the Cougs. Did not play in the first half. He's hit some shots, get defensive rebounds. See, that time Marcus tried to go to the other side.
And there's Matthews again.
It was premeditated, though. You can't always just say, I'm going to the opposite side. You go wherever they give you the choice. And he was so far out. He was on the outside of the lane on the left side. You can't float that far. Let me take that back. Some people can float that far, but not many. See how far he's trying to come from the left side all the way to the other side. He can jump. Can't jump that high.
Well, and he's got those Inspector Gadget arms. This is a kid that you said earlier this week can probably adjust his socks standing straight up. They're long, but not that long.
Yeah, he can stand up and scratch his shin anytime he wants to.
Think about it, ponder it, fix the socks. Matthews for 3. Quality minutes. Good choice.
Amazing. The kid plays no minutes in the first half. Is coming off the bench in the second half.
Just his 10th game of 15 this season.
He's giving some good minutes to Tony Bennett's club. Jerome McClellan said, okay, minute this. I've had enough.
He has had enough. McClellan only with 5 points in the game, well below his scoring average. Cowgill tips it out. Shakur. Stepped on the line?
Yes, he did. Dave Levy had that call all the way.
We've seen a running dialogue between Tony Bennett and the officials. What do you think is going on over there?
Well, I'm pretty sure that they're not talking about where dinner's going to be after the game. I think Tony's just trying to make sure that the officials look for certain calls that he has kind of pre-programmed to them that Arizona likes to do, so this is what I'm going to be doing.
Oh, that was potentially one of the sweetest steals in all of college hoops this season. Mustafa Shakur elongating. Derek Lowe gets it back. And there's Cowgill.
They have to make that call, the officials do. The officials have been consistent tonight in making the charge and call. Now, whether you like the call or don't like the call, as a player, you know that, okay, this is the call for the evening. Therefore, don't jump into somebody. If you know that's what the officials are calling tonight, don't make the move to give them the chance to make the call.
And
Stop,
Radinovic
pull
has
up.
the stop and pull up in his arsenal.
Yes, he does. Stop, pull up, shoot off the glass. Verticality goes straight up.
It's a game of planes. They're trying to penetrate, looking for Cowgill. Overzealous.
Give it up, give it up, give it up. Trying to do too much.
Weaver hauls it in. Low versus McClellan. Wild. I mean, these guys are flying through the air. Weaver ends up in the front row for a second time tonight. It's physical. You'd think it'd trap me, but it's 40-39 Arizona.
Welcome back to Frio Court as Arizona enjoys a one-point lead. And this has been a hotly contested game because you see the ties, the lead changes. You see the second half threes. If you get back to my keys to the game, Arizona, with all the misses, there's a lot of offensive glass opportunities. They've contained Derek Lowe. Lowe is 1 for 10 from the field, 0 for 6 in three-point land, and 1 assist. And for Washington State, you say keep the game in the 50s. That's the pace that they're going at right now. And talk about physical. Hey, anytime two guys go out and need stitches, I think that's getting physical.
Yeah, stitches, blood, butterfly bandages. Kyle Weaver flying into the seats. We have seen it all here at Frio Court tonight. That only Washington State's second free throw attempt. Kyle Weaver's shot them all so far, and he's perfect, but Arizona is all about getting to the line and keeping their opponents off of it. Coming into this game, Arizona had made 113 more free throws than their opponents had taken, and that trend is continuing here.
Yes, it is. But Washington State is still right there. They're up by 1. It's too early in the game to try to call a winner for this one.
Oh, absolutely.
It's not like the elections.
No.
You have the projected winner when 2% of the precinct has been reported. Now, it's too early to try to figure out something in this game. This is an excellent Pac-10 basketball game.
Well, we're at the 11:29 mark, and I would challenge that at the 1:29 mark, we still might be saying there are some precincts out. Precincts yet to be counted. Lowe with the steal.
Look up, look up.
To Weaver.
Nice pass. Nice break by the Cougs.
And that's the thing about Derek Lowe. He hasn't scored a lot tonight, but the team's leading scorer is not about his own stats. He's about the scoreboard.
Yes, and that was a good play by Washington State. Make the steal and be aggressive. The team that's the aggressor is going to win this ball game.
Shakur for 3. Well off the mark. Right into Cowgill's hands, and the Zoo crew chanting.
So now Weaver pulls it back out. They get back into Washington State basketball. They're going to slow it down. Watch the shot clock. You see the 20, 19, 18 right up in the top. That's their goal right there, to get it to single digits before they take the shot. Now they're going to start running the play.
Down to 7. Down to 5. Harmeling with Williams in his face. A long rebound, but nobody crunched for the offensive glass there.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why Tony Bennett sometimes has elected to not send 4 guys to the offensive glass. He will retreat guys to make sure the teams do not get what you saw that time, an easy bucket by Marcus Williams, who's beating everybody else down the floor.
Surprisingly, in transition, that only Shakur's 3rd assist of this game, but it moves him into 5th all-time on Arizona's career list, past Reggie Geary, a name that Cats fans remember fondly.
Lowe's having a tough time from the field. 1 for 11 now. Nice high-low. Take your time. Good move. Nice pass by Radenovich up high. And Marcus Williams didn't force that one. Caught the nice pass, pumped, created a little space to go up, and then put it in the post. Oh, nice move.
Oh, that was a sweet move from Harmeling, who's really found his scoring touch the last few games. 13 against Arizona State. Into the teens tonight. This after being held out of double digits for 5 in a row.
That was almost a carbon copy at the other end of the floor. Penetration, bounce pass, bucket from the left side of the rim.
Marcus Williams had been shooting unbelievably in conference play, almost 78%. Started a little bit cold, but he's starting to feel his touch now.
Getting ball on the perimeter, moving it around.
Harmeling.
He is really feeling it.
19 for David.
Yeah, David Harmeling is really feeling it. The freshman, 6'7", 216 from Grand Junction, Colorado.
Oh, Kyle Weaver's athleticism on display. Harmeling begging for more from the cage.
Penetration and left side of the screen. Weaver says, no, no, not in Pullman. Watch this, with the help out, on the block. Looked like he tried to block it with his left hand after he'd already gotten it with the right hand. He almost looked like a long jumper. When they jump up in the air and the right hand's moving and left hand's moving.
The legs are crawling through the air.
And the cage is moving it now behind us, okay?
We're shaking and baking, Bob and I are. Buttinger for 3.
Another air ball.
He has not had the touch that we've seen from number 34 this season tonight.
That's the second air ball by Arizona from the same spot. Remember, Shakur just shot one about 3 minutes ago from
into the hands of Cowgill, exactly.
Now all of a sudden it got quiet.
Yes. Mimicking the patient Cougar offense.
Oh, shoot it, David.
Who are you?
And Arizona has to make a defensive adjustment on the next timeout to make sure that somebody keeps a hand in David Harmeling's face, because he is shooting it tonight.
Career high 22, 6 of 9 from downtown. Number 32 is feeling it, imploring the crowd to keep the intensity up, and the Cougars are bringing it. They are up by 5 with under 8 left in the game. David Harmeling has been the story of this second half for the Washington State Cougars. 22 points a career high, 6 threes a career high, and number 32's been automatic.
Tell you what, right now, if David Harmeling is in a horse game, you don't want to be shooting after him because he's knocking it down from three-point land like it's a dunk.
Interestingly, his favorite horse shot is the one-handed 3. So we're seeing what he can do two-handed tonight, and it's pretty lethal.
Yes, it is.
Radenovich fouled at the top of the arc by Clark.
And that was an old, savvy, veteran-type move that time by Radenovich to draw that foul. But David Harmeling has been finding his spots. Now, this is one of the few times he didn't shoot a 3, but he went to the hole hard. Notice how he drifts out. Left side of your screen, spots up, catch, shoot, knock it down. Again, catch, shoot, knock it down. He has done the catch, shoot, knock it down routine 6 times this evening.
While we were discussing 32, 3 for Arizona, Marcus Williams scored on a little 13-foot jumper, so 51-48, the updated count. Arizona down by 3. Little inside-outside game, Harmeling and Cowgill. He was so sweet off the glass.
Yeah, that was a smart move. Cowgill got it down low, threw it back out to the wing, reposted, got it back, set himself up to make the move on the front.
Speaking of a freshman making a move, oh, Jordan Hill, iron unkind.
So there's where Jordan can really help Arizona. All around the glass. When he made that earlier move with the spin, he's going to learn later on, you can't always force it with the right hand. If you're going and turn to your left, use your left hand, use the outside hand.
Harmeling driving. Avery Clark cleans up the crash.
Cleaned it up well. Stuck it out on the curve. Flushed it through.
For all the threes that have missed, it has been a battle in the paint. Arizona holding a 22 to 20 edge inside.
Over the back.
Yep, and that was Harmeling going up for the rebound and getting fouled by Hill.
Watch Clark coming to the left side of your screen. Harmeling goes to the hole. Look, he's going to go up, flush it back through. Good offensive putback. I used to like those. I call them double-double. Not as in double points, double rebounds, but double on the stat sheet. Offensive rebound, 2 points.
Exactly. You know something about stats. You're up and down the top 10 list in Arizona's annals. There's a timeout on the floor. Ivory Clark started the show strong for the Cougs, and he's finishing it up with David Harmeling right now. Well, this has been the game that Cougars fans have been waiting for. Monday, it's the game that college football fans have been waiting for. Florida Gators, Ohio State Buckeyes, the first ever Tostitos BCS National Championship game. Coverage begins Monday at 4:30 Pacific, 5:30 Mountain Time on Fox. And that will be fun to watch, but I wager to say, Bob Elliott, that it won't be as fun to watch as this game right now. It's been incredible here tonight in Pullman.
This has been a great basketball contest. And remember, both teams won it. Arizona wants to stay on top of the Pac-10 race. And Washington State wants respect on a national level. They keep it up, they're going to get it. They're going to have Aretha Franklin playing in that new locker room there.
That's right.
R-E-S-P-E-C-T.
Respect on a national level. Well, needless to say, Washington State has been strangers to that. We mentioned it briefly earlier. The last time the Cougars were ranked nationally, 1983. Unbelievable. They have been receiving votes for 4 straight weeks. 31st right now. They are sniffing a little glory, and it smells pretty sweet.
A win here definitely puts them in the top 25. Puts the program back to where it was. Almost reminds you of the Kelvin Sampson days and the George Raveling days here.
Well, and what a contrast, these two teams in the Pac-10. Arizona's been to the national championship tournament 22 straight years in the NCAAs. Washington State's only been 4 times all time. One of those trips came in 1941. Lute Olson, the man, 4 Final Fours, a national title in his pocket. And the Cougars getting that national recognition, they're just not used to it.
It'd be a good feeling if you get it. I'm talking about that new locker room. There's the Cougs' new locker room. Got a little donation action, a little cultivation of a relationship to bring in some money to the Cougar land.
Plasma TV to scout out components, pretty sweet. Harmeling 1 of 2 from the line to build the Cougs lead to 6. We have a foul away from the ball. Offensive foul called on Arizona.
Ivan Radenovich is trying to figure out what's going on. Now what happened? Dave Libby is telling, okay.
No longer an offensive foul called on Radenovich, now a defensive foul called on Cowgill. And yet Radenovich is still talking to the officials at the free throw line.
Well, that's huge. If that's on Robbie Cowgill, that's 4 personal fouls on him. This will tell you what Cowgill means to them. He's their leading rebounder. He's the guy inside that they've counted on this year. An extremely bright man. Young fella's been on that all-academic team a few times.
Oh, yeah, he is an academic star. All-academic Pac-10 first team last year. And now the Smarts head to the bench with 4. And Clark comes back into the game with 4 fouls. So Cougars in a bit of trouble right now. And again, we can't stress enough, Radenovich, the last person you want to send to the charity stripe.
If you're a Washington State fan. If you're an
Yeah.
Arizona fan,
Absolutely.
let him go on up there and shoot it.
55 on the line all day long.
You got to love double nickels when he's at the line.
That's right. Radenovich 4 of 4. About 14 tonight.
Yes. Oh, Clark. Nice
Big
rebound.
offensive rebound for Washington
And
State.
again, on the weak side, 70% of your shots will go to the opposite side of the floor that they're shot on. So Clark that time positioned himself, got the rebound.
Radenovich, good pressure defense. Staying with Harmeling. Clark down the middle. Ooh, physical. Jordan Hill goes mano on Romano with Clark. Freshman against the senior there.
This is a beautiful game. This is the kind of game that you want to see. I don't care if it's early in the season, mid-season.
No, it's a replay
NCAA
kind of a
tournament,
game.
definitely. This is you tape it and you go back and look at it. Now, as an observer or a fan, you love this. As a coach, no. You will replay in your mind all 40 minutes of this game to figure out where you could have made a change. Did you make a call here right? Did you make a substitution right? So many little things that nice block by Clark that time. And he didn't reach down, he didn't slap at the ball. So many kids now try to send the ball into the third row. No, he just blocked it.
You don't have to send it out of the kitchen, you can just drop it back into the pan.
Keep it back in the pan and keep it in play so maybe when your teammates can get it, now you get the possession. You slap it into the seats, and all of a sudden, the other team still gets the ball back.
Clock again at 10 as these patient Washington State Cougars whittle away at the timepiece. Oh, that was definitely a clear out. Great call. Yeah. Kyle Weaver, forearm shiver and then some on Radenovich. Radenovich has really been playing some smothering defense up at the perimeter.
Yeah, nice defensive play. Radenovich showed him a left hand to go after the ball. And then Kyle went to spin, and Radenovich moved a little bit. And at that point, Kyle felt that pressure. Tried to get a little room between him and defender. Didn't work. Oh, and then now, all the physicality that's been happening in this ball game, the officials are making a statement.
Yep.
You guys will get your hands off of each other.
Tone it down, son.
So as a player, two things have happened that you know you need to respond to. Number one, if you go to the hole, you're going to get called for a charge. Number two is now the game is getting called closely, so don't use your hands so much in this ball game because you will get called for a foul. And see, and Dave Libby's talking to him right now. He's saying, okay, y'all can cut it out on my clock.
And the Cougars need to cut it out because right now they've got two players on the floor in Cowgill and Clark that both have 4 personals. And they send Shakur to the line. He has been a sure thing from the charity stripe. 15 for 15 if you count the 9 for 9 on Thursday night and the 6 for 6 in this one.
Overall, a good percentage shooter, 78% going into today's game. Knocked them both down, so now we're back to a potentially one possession game, 57-54.
With these two teams, I would say it's absolutely a one possession game. They are 3-point machines, and Arizona leads the conference in 3-point percentage, though we haven't really seen that on display tonight.
We also have not seen Arizona have one of their patented runs that happen almost every game this year.
Big double-digit type runs.
Yeah, like double-double, like 20, a 20-point or more spread between them and the opposition.
Weaver slices and dices with the best of them on that possession.
And that now lengthens it, so Washington State now has a 2-possession lead. When you get down at this point under 3 minutes, 2 minutes, it's all about possession. That was a bad pass.
Wrong one for Arizona, unfortunately for the Wildcats. It has been a block party tonight in Pullman. Last year, the Cougars tied a school record with 130 ejections. They've got 5 in this one, and Arizona just commits its 12th turnover. Are the Tides turning in Pullman for the Cougs against the Cats?
Working from home changed my life.
It all started when I was referred by this free service.
All you need is a computer and a little belief in yourself.
With all the money I made working from home, I bought a new home. This is the one website you have to visit.
I love the lifestyle my home business offers, and the money's great too.
If you're not working from home, then you're missing out on your share of a multi-billion-dollar industry.
I make over $7,000 a month working part-time.
I'm making $5,000 a month. Never thought I'd make this much right out of school.
I actually like what I do now, and I'm making more than ever.
Put your computer to work now.
My goal for next month is $20,000.
Working from home changed my life. This is the one website you have to visit.
I love working from home.
Ready for more money? Start earning extra money yourself by going to this website today.
Log on to 31newfuture.com now.
This is a message from the Fuel TV Broadcasting System.
Not a
real emergency.
You should immediately log on to www.fuel.tv.
It's Fuel TV's new website.
That's www.fuel.tv.
Heisman winner Troy Smith leads the unstoppable Buckeyes. But the Gators are ready to shock the world. The Tostitos BCS National Championship, Monday, only on Fox.
3:18 left to play in regulation. Cougars hanging on to a 5-point edge. And time now for our Red Lobster nothing but net shot of the night. Career high 6 3-pointers for Washington State's David Harmeling in this game. He's got 23, and he has been money from downtown. Feeling it, stroking it, red hot, whatever you want to say. He's the guy earning the honors right now.
Red Lobster, nothing but net shot, and he's had 6 of them, nothing but net.
For the long shot lover in you, it has been close. It has been a wild second half, back and forth. Everything that Pac-10 basketball is at its very finest.
And remember, Washington State is 5-1 when down at the half. They were losing by 3, 27-24 going into half. Now they enjoy a 5-point lead.
Derek Lowe struggling tonight from the field. Running out of time.
Cowgirls back in the game with 4 fouls. That's huge.
Robbie now in double digits with 10.
Because that now becomes a 7-point differential. Now you're talking 3 or 4 possessions.
Plenty of time, though. Wildcat fans remember that 1995 duel, a $118, and the Cats come back from a 10-point deficit.
Yes, they did. And that's a quick way.
Mustafa Shakur making it feel much more manageable for Lute Olson right now.
That's the senior leader. Knocking down the 3, take that 7, make it 4. Now it's a definite 2-possession game.
After the game, Arizona fans, stay tuned for the Quest FSN Live postgame show. For fans in the Northwest, be sure to tune in tonight at 10:30 for FSN Live. Seahawks Central, just a friendly reminder for our Northwest fans and the fans here at Frio Court know, because there was an announcement, the Seahawks did win. They are advancing. Seattle moves on to either Chicago or New Orleans.
Yes, they do. But at the same time, we got a good ball game here. Washington State enjoying a 4-point lead. Remember, at this point it was 7. Mustafa just comes up right to the middle, stops, pops. Look at the follow through. Just left his hand all the way in the air. Take that middle finger, put it in the hole. That's how you get your follow through.
And he is Mr. All-Around this season. 17 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists in this game. He's been close to a triple-double on several occasions here this senior season, and tasting another one possibly tonight.
A lot of time remaining, 2:23. I guarantee you, this is not going to be played in 2 minutes and 19 seconds from normal time. There's going to be a lot of timeouts, a lot of clock stops, a lot of coaching going on.
Interestingly, both coaches watching right now from the relaxed seated position. Sometimes you can only watch and let it happen. Speaking of a block party, Arizona with 4 in the game. 9 blocks between these two teams. Lots of offensive fouls. So physical, this contest.
Don't force it. Ooh, he knocked it down. Young man believed in himself.
It's all about the confidence.
Yes, it is. Now, 1 possession game. Minute 30.
Williams with 12. We saw him heat up in the second half at UW as well Thursday night. So Marcus Williams, they can be clutch when they need him. Of course, anybody for the Cats can be clutch when needed. Clock under 10. Harmeling, NBA ready. Are you kidding me? Oh, 7 threes for David Harmeling. 7 of 10.
Yeah, when you're feeling it, you're feeling it.
Williams for 3, and I believe Ivory Clark got a piece of it.
Yes, a good block. So now you've got to foul. You got to stop the clock. There's the foul.
Chase Budinger getting Kyle Weaver there. We're going to let the fans tell the story, Bob.
Long range, David Harmeling dialing in an NBA range 3, his 7th of the game.
Unbelievable. We need to give the fans at home, both in the desert and in the Northwest, some historical perspective now. Chase Budinger, the fab freshman for Zona, wasn't even born the last time Arizona lost at Washington State. January 30th, 1986.
That's going back to one of the early years of Luke's career at Arizona.
I mean, we are talking hair bands and
short shorts.
Eyes odd and short shorts. Oh my goodness. 66-59 Washington State. Budinger for 3.
Timeout.
I may not have been born, but I can make something happen in this game. Quick timeout.
You call that timeout because you want to set your defense. So the clock stops, you call the timeout, you get your team back in, and Luke's going to tell them, okay, here's the defense, and here's what's going to happen. You're down 4. That's a 2-possession game. You have 36.6 on the clock. You want to go for the quick steal. If you don't get the steal, commit the foul. That stops the clock again. You want to elongate the game. You want to turn this 36.6 seconds into the longest 36.6 that you've ever seen. Because that way you create more possessions. More possessions give you more opportunities to score.
Last time Washington State won 3 straight conference games was the 95-96 season. Their last home sweep, 2001, when they knocked down the Oregon schools. And this would be such a pivotal win for the Cougars, a national ranking, Bob.
Oh, no
Something
question.
Arizona is familiar with week in, week out, and Washington State never gets to enjoy.
Yeah, see, okay, the ball came in, commit the quick foul. Therefore, you send Robbie Cowgill to the line, and Robbie's a 71% free throw shooter. So you figure, hey, you take your stroke with it. Even if he makes both of them, you still come down, you look for the 3. Because if every time you foul, even if they make both free throws, if you come down and shoot a 3, you picked up 1 point on the differential. You did 4 times, you go to overtime. That's the worst case. Best case is they don't make, oh, okay, now there's a miss. Now you come down, you really have an option. You don't necessarily need a 3 now because you're down 4 and he missed the first one. You need a 2 or a 3, whatever the best shot is, you take it if you're Arizona.
And Arizona fielding 5 guys that can hit from pretty much anywhere on the floor. Shakur pushing tempo. Wants to keep it himself. Oh, and then feeds it off to Williams.
Timeout.
Weaver got a first piece of it, but Marcus Williams stayed with it.
And again, the timeout is not so much to stop the clock, it's about setting your defense. On the last play, Shakur with the penetration. Marcus, he likes to go to the opposite side of the rim when he gets down low, gets it blocked by Weaver, but then presence of mind to catch it, take it back up again, and you can see the timeout being called. So now everybody kind of flows the roll that time. They say, okay, we're going to go off to the side. The band is pumped. The cage behind us is pumped. The Cougars are pumped. They're up by 3. Look
and
at
I'd say
that.
the Cats are pumped too, because you're looking at some of the fiercest competitors in all the land. You're down 3, 25.6 seconds. I mean, this is well within Arizona's wheelhouse to either force it to overtime, pull off the victory. I love this.
This is college basketball. This is why people show up. This is why you tune in. This is what gives you that enjoyment. And it's not a bunch of multi-millionaires kind of doing their thing and walking away in those big cars and diamonds. No, these are young kids laying on the line for the school, for the alumni, for the family. That's what it's about. Okay, now you need a foul. Need a foul. There it is. He's going to send Kyle Weaver to the line, and Kyle is a 76% free throw shooter.
Tony Bennett, when he inherited Washington State's program from his father, Dick, said that he wants to run a program with the fundamental basics that his dad put into place, integrity and passion.
Yes.
And I think that we are seeing that on display in spades tonight.
Yeah, it's not like Tony came in and said, Pops, love you, but I'm going to do my own show.
No.
He kept the basics. The foundation was there. When talking to the players, the only difference seems to be that Tony seems to give them a little more freedom on the offensive end. And if nothing else, you've seen that freedom by Harmon. He's been free, all right. He's been laying it out. He's
freed up and flying high.
He's been doing it, but Tony has got him in a point where, hey, you're up by 3 with 23.6. against a team that's number 7 in the nation at your place. The excitement around here, if they can pull this off, will be huge. 2 misses. So now Arizona come down, quick shot. Take whatever shot is good. You don't have to have a free here. But you're going to take it anyhow. Hot ball again.
Oh, yes, of course it is. 17 for Wadenovic. Tied up, Cougars to hold. Another offensive foul at the worst possible time for junior Derek Lowe.
You know, this is starting to look like 95 when all of a sudden you never know what's going to happen. But watch it. Okay, here's the penetration by Shakur. Takes it out. This is a shot by Wadenovic for 3 that tied it up. Now, let's see. Penetration to the right. Oh, yeah, the left arm is pushed off. Good call by the official. You see the official right there in front of us, so he got a good look at it. And you see Tony's going to say what he wants to say to the official. But at that point, you got to go back to your team because it's still a tie game.
Yes.
You don't want to sit there and argue something that's already in the book.
No.
You got your team that's got to be focused for the next 8.5 seconds. Say your piece to the official and get back to your team so they know what to do. Washington State's going to be on defense now. Number 1, no foul. If you foul somebody, you have more than 10 team fouls. Arizona goes to the line to shoot 2. So no fouls, and definitely box out on a missed shot because you don't want an offensive rebound to hit you. Arizona, on the other hand, is Luke's got to try to keep the team calm. Okay, you've come back. You've put yourself in position to win. Doesn't mean to get all crazy or freaked out about it, but you haven't won the game yet. Yes, you're in position to win, but you haven't taken a bite of that double burger with all the stuff on it, all right? I know you like that food, girl.
Oh, that's right.
So what you do, you set up a play. First, you set it up to get the ball in bounds. With 8.5 seconds on the clock, that means that when the ball is inbounded, you are going to start your offensive play. Arizona wants to start the play so that 2 things will happen. 1, you get a shot at the basket. 2, you give yourself a chance for a putback. And you don't allow Washington State to have a chance to take it the other way. So if you're Arizona, you're saying, hey, minimum, we go to overtime, or we walk out of here with a win.
Wildcats out of timeouts. Cougars still have 3.
Waiting too late to get started. He's got to shoot it.
Wadenovic with Lowe in his face. Bonus basketball on the Palouse.
Waited too late to get into the rhythm. In the NBA, we used to use 7 seconds as the barometer as to when you get started on your move because guys are a little more athletic and they can move faster. In college, I like to use 8 seconds. Anytime you have that half-court set, you're trying to get a last-second shot, you want to start your rhythm with 8 seconds on the clock. Otherwise, you don't give yourself enough time to get a good shot. So this time, Mustafa Shakur is going to bring it up, and look it, you're already at 8.5.
And he did not like the pass he received from Budinger on the inbounds.
It's too late to argue about that. Look, he didn't start making his move till 4 seconds on the clock. Now, Wadenovic has no choice but to catch and shoot with a defender in his face.
Off balance.
So that was bad execution by Arizona and great defense by Washington State. And Arizona kind of let Washington State off the hook a little bit by not getting into the rhythm early enough.
Coach Bennett said, we're going to contest and you're going to have to shoot over us, and that's what Wadenovic had to do there.
Bottom line, you got 5 more minutes to play.
That's right. You think you like the first 40? How about 5 more for free? Bob and I won't even charge you for it.
No, there's a couple of Arizona fans who made that trip to the Palouse.
I have a feeling they probably live here. There are a few fans that shoot around, and you know, whenever you're in the Pac-10 and you live in an opposing Pac-10 city, you can see those fans, and they show up with just stars in their eyes to see their squad pass through. It's just such a great day. Coach Olson actually shook the hands of both those little girls that we saw in that shot. Of course, the parents were beaming. The little girls were like, who's the silver-haired fox?
Who is this guy right here?
Who is this Hall of Famer that's in his 24th year with Arizona, 34th year overall?
I guarantee you, though, if they took a picture, that was getting framed tonight.
Oh, yeah.
They're going to find a 24-hour place they can put that in the frame. And the whole time those kids grow up, remember when you took that picture with Lute Olson? Back in 2007?
Back in the day.
Now, you want to start off right away. So on this jump ball, whoever gets it automatically gets the first possession. Clark gets it. Washington State now has the opportunity to draw blood first.
first overtime game for both of these teams this season. Cougars, well, the extra session has been unkind. They've lost their last 8 straight that went to OT. Lots of trends that this Washington State squad is trying to buck in this one. Buttinger very physical against Cowgill, and Robbie, just another day at the office.
Nice move. Took his time, posted up. The defender gave him the inside left-hand move. He took the inside left-hand move.
Clark and Cowgill both there. Jump ball called. Possession arrow in favor of the Cats. I mean, Buttinger drove right into the Great Wall of Pullman between Clark and Cowgill.
Yeah, Clark thought he had the ball. Not a jump ball, but he had it and pulled it out. Again, Buttinger, that's got to be over the back. Jump ball.
Who the?
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Well, it has been one of those games.
Yes, it has. Okay, ball goes up. And, oh my goodness.
I mean, are we playing Twister in the air? It's all elbows and arms.
But see, as a player, that means you have to adjust. Now remember, at about the 7-minute mark, the officials made a statement, no physical play. Now it's like they're going to let you play. So you have to constantly adjust as a player to how things are going to be called.
But that's what you do in the Pac-10.
That's not a knock against the official.
No.
It gets to a point where you say, you know what? You as an official do not want to dictate who wins this game.
Right.
In an overtime game in particular, you want to let the players play. Let the kids decide who's going to win or lose, not you with the whistle.
Derek Lowe, so cold in this game, just 1 of 11 from the floor, looking to create for his teammates because he knows he's not feeling it tonight. David Harmeling has been feeling it. Weaver and Cowgill also in double digits. Shot clock at 5. That was a sweet ball fake by Aubrey Clark. Ends up hitting iron but keeps the possession alive. That's just a senior in an intense game exercising one little fundamental. I'd love to see that.
Yes, now this is a key possession. They missed it to get it back out. The clock is running. You're up by 4. Washington State wants to score here to go up by 6 to make it 2 or 3 possession game. Let's see, Lowe's not feeling it.
Harmeling has been. Another tremendous offensive rebound for Ivory Clark. 8 boards in the game.
And again, the clock keeps running down. 2:37. The clock is the ally of Washington State. And that was not a good choice. You're 1 for 11 from the field. You don't put it up in overtime when you know your team needs a bucket.
0 for 8 from downtown. Derek Lowe, usually a 3-point machine, could not find his stroke in this one. McClellan off the dribble. Harmeling again in good rebounding position. Buttinger called over the back.
And now Harmeling will go to the line to shoot 2. Harmeling is a 71.4% free throw shooter. 2 big free throws. If Washington State takes these 2 and goes from a 4-point lead to 6, it's a long 2-possession, more probably a 3-possession ball game with 2 minutes and 5 seconds to go. Arizona was able to capitalize on that to kick it to overtime. But how many times can you keep trying to come back from 5 and 6 points with less than 2 minutes to go?
Harmeling made his mark on the Pac-10 earlier this season, named Player of the Week December 11th after posting a career high in the upset of Gonzaga, and then scoring 11 and hauling in a career high 7 rebounds in a game against Idaho. Just the 14th Cougar to get the award. He could be getting that nod this week. He's had an incredible couple of games against the schools from Arizona. Hoops up in OT by 6. It has been a thriller here in Pullman. Washington State building a 6-point lead. The only 6 points scored in the overtime have gone to the Cougars. With a couple minutes left, they've really been in control of the clock in this overtime session.
They started out with a nice little post move that time by Robbie Cowgill. A little spin with the left hand. A lob down low. Ivory Clark puts it in. Does the 2 buckets. David Harmeling comes through with a couple free throws, and there's your 6 points, and that's the 6-point margin that you see right now, 73-67. Washington State ahead with 2:05 left.
Fans watching this thriller in the desert, you will be seeing post-game coverage on FSN Arizona. Wildcats, 2 minutes to make another comeback. They did it at the end of the second half. Do they have another one left in them? Marcus Williams is one of the best players in the country at making lemonade right under the baskets.
He loves to go back to that reverse side. That time it draws 2 points. A quick bucket by the Cats. Now they're down by 4 with 1:40 to go.
Weaver kind of running the show in this overtime session. Milking the clock, Cougar style. Clark in trouble against the baseline. Shot clock at 3. And he's not exactly your ball handler with the crowd counting down behind us. I think he heard him. You could see him as the crowd kept counting down. He started dribbling faster and faster like that clock was bothering him. So now Arizona comes down and that same 1-4 look. 2 high posts. Cowgill and Clark both have 4 fouls. Williams off balance. Somehow he got it back. Clark fouls out of the game.
And that's huge because Ivory Clark has been a man down low in this ball game. Really had his presence down low, but that time Marcus Williams had the inside position and Clark goes over the back. Again, Arizona runs the same play to get Marcus Williams on a walk. Right now, over the back. No doubt about it. You see 33, he doesn't like it. And again, what player ever likes a call that's called against him?
No, especially not if you foul out. And Ivory Clark inserted into the starting lineup for the first time in conference play. Really the catalyst for the quick start, good defense. He had the injury, the collision with Koprivica, but he rebounded nicely from that. We didn't know if he would.
Yes, he did. He has brought it well. The officials have just screwed up because Clark is still on the floor. And they have to make the substitution. You can't have live play going on with a player on the floor that's been disqualified. So the officials should have excused Clark off the floor. You make the substitution, and then you start to play again. So now the question is, are they going to count the free throw that was just shot? Yes. And it's time for a sidebar. It's time for a sidebar.
I have a sidebar. 9 points, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks. Not a bad night for Ivory Clark. And I have an answer, Bob.
All right.
Free throw counts. So Williams shooting his second one. Also money.
Clutch. Now, defensively, for Arizona, minute 2, you're down 2. No reason to rush it, but you do need a defensive stop here. Washington State, they're looking for a score because a 2-point lead, if it turns into 4, you just took a 1-possession game to be a 2-possession game.
Chris Matthews, who had a couple of game-changing buckets in the second half, subs in for Clark.
Washington State on the offense, being patient. Again, the shot clock down to single digits.
Well, runs into traffic. Fouled on the floor by McClellan.
Now, Derek Lowe is a 73% free throw shooter. However, in today's game, he has not found his stroke at all. Now, can he rebound from the many misses he's had today and sit to the line right now and knock him down? We shall see.
Those Samson-like locks have been deceiving for Lowe. Usually a scoring threat for the Cougars. That only his 3rd point in the game. But he hits his first free throw, and it's getting warm at Friel Court. Business casual Tony Bennett has now stripped himself of the jacket.
He said, take the business off, just make it casual.
Exactly.
Sans jacket. That was big because now it's a 2-possession game. So Arizona needs to come down and get a quick score. Doesn't matter if it's a 2 or a 3, you just need a quick score.
Kyle Weaver with a huge steal, maybe one of the biggest in his career. Chris Matthews cherry picking. Matthews streaked down as soon as he saw Weaver do his dirty work. Shakur, quick answer.
Yep, quick answer with a timeout. But that bucket by Matthews is huge. Because that took it from 4 to 6. But on that play, Marcus Williams tried to pass it down to Budinger, couldn't find it. Now watch, he looks up, and Harmeling says, oh, I've got a man down low. And Matthews, the young man that did not play a minute in the first half, gave some great minutes to Tony Bennett's club in the second half, comes up with maybe the biggest shot of this ball game to put his team up by 6, with at that time about 16 seconds to go.
Sophomore out of DC with 8 points, and that swarming defense of Kyle Weaver just robs Williams.
Took it right out the air.
That was a this is my house kind of a move.
No question. Kept his dribble, kept it alive. So now we're 13.2. The Cougar fans, they're feeling it. They think they can be in the top 25 come Monday.
And we see the security starting to line up in front of the cage. Remember the last time, December 5th, when Gonzaga lost here at Friel Court, the fans stormed the court. They were lacing up their shoes to do it again. Harmeling fouled in the corner. I thought it was a nice double team, but they were running out of time. They just had to send him to the line.
Yes, they do. Now they send a guy to the line. They're shooting 71% from the field, but mentally, the young man feels like he owns this floor tonight. And again, the Cougs, if they can win, last time they were ranked was
1983.
That's going way back.
That is going way back. That's just after your playing days, Bob.
Yeah, that's bringing back even a couple guys with afros. Oh!
Harmeling, 28 points, but a huge miss.
Now what that does is, it's a 4-point game. So if he makes or misses this, Arizona now has a choice. They need a quick bucket, but it can be a 2 or a 3. It does not have to be a 3.
Oh my heavens.
Need a quick bucket here. It's still two possessions either way. It's got to be quick.
Running out of time. Williams. Weaver with the rebound. He had a huge steal, a huge rebound. Kyle Weaver had the game winner against USC, and yeah, they're storming, Bob.
And there's nothing that
our cameraman, Mark Gouveia, down in the fray, and I am right now hoping for his safety.
College basketball at its best.
8-0 at home this year, the Washington State Cougars with one of the biggest upsets in the program's history.
Look for the Cougs in the top 25 come Monday.
First win against Arizona in Pullman since January 30th, 1986. Wow. Overtime, extra session, unbelievable game. David Harmeling, 7 3-pointers and 28 points, both career highs to lead the Cougars to a tremendous victory. This only the second time in 43 meetings that Washington State has beaten Arizona.
And a big game because it also puts them in a tie for first place.
UCLA loses today in Oregon. Such different expectations. Washington State picked to finish 10th in conference this year. Arizona picked to finish 2nd. And we have the updated conference standings. Look at the Cougs in a 4-way tie at the top.
Look at the parity. You've got to love this. A 4-way tie, and 5 and 6 also only have 1 loss. This is going to be a very enjoyable Pac-10 conference this year.
And you know how hard it is to win on the road in the Pac-10 conference. Arizona has been so good here in Pullman, Washington. But Lute Olson warned Cats fans, best Cougars fan team he's seen far and away in years. David Harmeling, the story in this one. The redshirt sophomore missed last year with a shoulder dislocation in the season opener. You wouldn't know that he ever had any problem with either of his shoulders. Downtown, inside, this kid was a menace.
And he was spotting up. His teammates were finding him. Because notice, it's not he's creating a shot off the dribble. He's spotting up. He's getting passes from his teammates and knocking down the pass every time. That, you see the sign. He is now the hero here in Pullman, Washington.
He was actually their hero before the game. That was a great sign for that kid to bring. It absolutely did. David Harmeling, story of the game. Derek Lowe, the leading scorer, held to only 4. But he had 5 assists. Kyle Weaver, typical day at the office. 15 points, 10 rebounds. He had his first career double-double of the season against San Diego State. Gets another one here tonight. Unbelievable win for the Cougars program. Wildcats, 3 players in double figures, but Chase Budinger held to 8, McClellan held to 5, and at the end it was the Cougars who were able to make the final say. So for Bob Elliott and our entire fantastic FSN crew in the Palouse, I'm Kara Capuano. Arizona fans, stay tuned for the Quest FSN Live postgame show. Fans in the Northwest, don't miss Seahawks Central tonight at 10:30 p.m. Behind 28 from David Harmeling, the Cougars get a huge win for the program, 77-73 in overtime. Thanks for watching Pac-10 on FSN.